Hello everyone, my name is Rick Cole Jr. and I am the Vice President and Director of Athletics here at Hofstra University. Thank you for joining us today to commemorate and celebrate our 2019-2020 men's basketball season. And what a season it was. From Florida to California and all the games in between, and to cap off the season with the 2020 CAA Men's Basketball Championship. What a special group of players, coaches, and staff this team was. Now it is my pleasure to introduce the voice of Hofstra basketball, Sadiq Faruqi.
Thank you for the kind introduction, Rick. It is an honor to be a part of this university, and I'm thankful for you and your staff for allowing me to be a part of this celebration. As a 2009 graduate of Hofstra University, I watched every minute of last year's men's basketball season from start to finish and enjoyed every moment of the historic season. From monumental victories to record-breaking individual performances to last-second victories, last season had it all. And when I say had it all, it culminated with the Hofstra men's basketball team winning and hoisting the Colonial Athletic Association Championship trophy. Before we get to that moment, let's start by taking a look back at one of those special moments from the season. On November 21st, Hofstra, against all odds, went into one of the most fabled buildings in all of college basketball and earned a historic 88-78 win over UCLA at Pauley Pavilion.
Yeah, I think it was a little bit of a turning point for us. You know, we'd gone out there, we were 1-2 at the time. We really didn't know what we had as a team. Lost Justin, lost Jaquil, and I really thought we went out there, played with a sense of urgency, and beat a really good team that turned out to be, the Pac-12 winner. And I think that started a snowball effect of us playing better basketball from that time on, and it really fueled our fire after that win. I mean, anytime you can beat a blue blood like UCLA at Pauley Pavilion, it's just an unbelievable moment for not only for the athletics department, but the whole university. You know, UCLA is known for their basketball program, and for little old Hofstra to go out to Los Angeles and beat UCLA on their home court is something to be proud of.
It was an amazing night for the entire team, and especially DeJour Bowie and Jalen Ray, as they poured in nearly 30 points each. But was there a more special moment than the scene in the locker room with the players after the buzzer? A moment they and the Hofstra community will never forget, even if you were sleeping. The victory over UCLA undoubtedly was a highlight of the season, but was not the only non-conference moment that stood out. The Pride went down to Boca Raton, Florida, and took care of business by defeating Holy Cross and Canisius to claim the Naismith Bracket Championship at the Boca Raton Beach Classic. Eli Pemberton and DeJour Bowie were both named to the All-Tournament team for their outstanding efforts. Hofstra would later storm into CAA play with a 3-game win streak after ending the non-conference slate with victories over Stony Brook, Princeton on the road, and Manhattan. Tariq Coburn had a double-double in the win over the Seawolves, while 5 players scored in double figures at Princeton, led by Eli's 27 points. DeJour and Eli poured in 19 points each versus Manhattan, with Isaac Conte adding a double-double in the victory. That win gave the Pride an impressive 9 wins heading into conference play.
Yeah, so, anytime you get a chance to compete for a championship, it's important, and it gives you something to get ready for what you want to do at the end of the year, So regular season can just prepare you. So beating Holy Cross and then beating Canisius, those games, and hoisting a trophy over our heads and celebrating and realizing what that moment was, to have to win back-to-back days, limited time for prep, all that stuff. But to win a regular season championship gets you ready for that. So I think it definitely laid the groundwork. And then I think we really kind of started to get on a little bit of a roll after that. We had some good performances there, especially like Manhattan. Our defense was terrific. Went down to Princeton, had a really good game down there. And a lot of these games were on the road too. The trip to Florida, the trip to California, all these moments were really good for our team to build and grow together as well.
After opening the conference schedule with wins over James Madison and Towson to push their winning streak to 5, the Pride returned home to face one of their fiercest conference rivals, William & Mary, on what was the 20th anniversary of the Max Sports Complex. Things did not go Hofstra's way as the Tribe picked up a convincing win. However, the Pride showed what they were made of by bouncing back 2 days later with a dominating 102-75 victory over Elon at the MAC. It was a statement-making win for DeJour Bowie as the senior guard poured in a career-high 44 points and went over the 1,000-point mark for his career. The 44 points were the 5th most in a single game in program history and 4 shy of the program record. While Hofstra had an easy time in the 27-point victory over the Phoenix, they had a nail-biter in its next game, a road tilt at Northeastern. The Pride held a double-digit lead in the early stages of the second half, lost the lead, and then regained it back before the Huskies tied the game with 13 seconds left. That left more than enough time for Eli Pemberton as his driving layup with 0.5 seconds to go gave the Pride a 74-72 win. 2 moments for 2 all-time greats to cement their status.
Those was 2 very key moments. The season wasn't looking too good, and then DeJour came out and had an unbelievable game against Elon, and then Elijah followed that up with another good game against Northeastern. So they're going to be looked at as one of the all-time greats. Maybe they'll get their jersey retired. We'll see.
DeJour, Elijah, and Connor all played their roles, all did different things for us. Connor, just such a unbelievable teammate, always worked his hardest every day, gave everything for this team, even though he never was scoring a lot of points during games or getting rebounds or anything like that. And just his spirit, being a connector with the entire roster, he was terrific. And then Elijah and DeJour, obviously, everything that they did on the court. And most importantly, seeing their growth, where they came from as freshmen and developed and grew into seniors, and DeJour for his 5th year was truly special. We knew they were really good players when we recruited them. We knew that they were really, really good kids as well and people. And for them to lead us to a championship was awesome. Those guys meant everything to, DeJour kind of the heart and soul, and Elijah the rock. Elijah always the guy that you could rely on. And DeJour, with a special ride that he was able to take us through his senior year. So those guys, to a couple of my favorite players, those 3 will always have a special spot in my heart, that's for sure.
Heading into the last game of the regular season, Hofstra needed a win over James Madison to earn the outright CAA regular season championship for the 2nd consecutive season and claim the top seed in the CAA Championship. The Pride raced out to a 28-point halftime lead and never looked back in a 97-81 victory at the Max Sports Complex. With the win, Hofstra became only the 6th team in Colonial Athletic Association history to win back-to-back outright regular season titles. It was also Hofstra's 3rd regular season title in the last 5 seasons. The Pride got it done from long distance, sinking a program record 20 3-pointers. Seniors Eli Pemberton and DeJour Bowie went out with a bang in their final home game. Eli poured in a career-high 35 points, marking his first career 30-point game. DeJour was tremendous as well with 26 points and 9 assists.
It's amazing repeating back-to-back regular season championships. I think the second year around, coming around, we knew we wanted something bigger than that. The year before, when we had Justin, we wanted, it was it was a euphoric feeling, but we had bigger plans this following year, and we knew exactly what we needed. It was just the first step of, the first step of 3, and then we got to the CAA Championship.
3 games in 3 days to climb that mountain and win that elusive trophy. No one said the road was going to be easy, and the Pride got its first test in the quarterfinals against Drexel. Hofstra held a narrow 3-point lead at halftime before pulling away and moving on to the semifinals. The Pride would begin to feel it in the semifinals as they placed 4 players in double figures en route to a double-digit win over Delaware.
You led your team in scoring for the 3rd consecutive game. You're averaging 26 points per game past 3 games. What's been the key?
Just my teammates believing in me. My coaches told me just to have fun with the game. It's my last year. These guys deserve everything. I'm going to go out there and fight for my brothers, anything possible.
Once again, for the 2nd straight year, you're 1 win away from the NCAA tournament. What would it mean to you to get there?
It means everything to me, man. I'm sorry I'm emotional, but we ain't even win it yet, but it means everything for me. It means everything for me to have my brothers just get that ring. We deserve it. We're going to earn it.
And what a game that championship tilt against Northeastern was. From rebounding from a halftime deficit to the final few minutes when our outstanding leaders put the team on their backs. It was the culmination of an entire season. The Pride have done it. Hofstra is your Colonial Athletic Association champion.
Jason Strong hits. But that is that. For the first time since 2001, Hofstra is going to the NCAA tournament. It's the first time the Pride has ever won the Colonial Championship. And it's time to celebrate in Hempstead, New York.
The stage is set, literally. After all the immediate hugs and high fives following the game, the true moment and realization of all you have accomplished comes when the commissioner hands you the championship trophy. All the hard work, dedication, and sacrifice to realize this exact moment.
So winning the championship last year meant everything to me, and I know it meant everything to Eli, DeJure, and the rest of the guys, because especially for us who have been here for so long, each year, got closer and closer and closer, and we just could never win that championship those first 3 years. And then finally the fourth year, coming in, losing some key guys the year before, Justin, Jaquil, guys like that, Danny, coming in and just knowing right away, every day, every practice, every lift, every film session, we got to be 100%. We got to be focused. We got to win this thing, going out with a bang and hopefully making it to the championship and then winning it. Just, it just shows that hard work really does pay off.
When I finally felt like I actually won was like a minute and 10 seconds, I guess, when Northeastern started to take their guys out. It started to dawn on me, and I don't know, it just built up emotions inside of me, so much, emotions. I've never had that feeling before, so that was very cool, to see the Hofstra fans and our people out there, me coming out the game and Speedy crying, we hugging each other, me hugging him. That was a surreal moment, you would never get that feeling back.
When we get to that point, hopefully where we're climbing up a ladder and cutting down some nets, we can say, don't forget 2013 to 2014. We didn't have a lot to show for it in the win columns, but don't forget Zeke Upshaw and Deion Nemsmith. And Deion's back, but don't forget Zeke Upshaw. Don't forget Steve Waconi, because they played a big part in what turned out to be a lot of success, hopefully, at Hofstra. So, you never, it's why you coach. You reflect back on those 7 years, it wouldn't be easy, it'd be tough. It would have to be one day at a time, one brick at a time. As I said already, we decided we'd do it the right way and have some great people doing it. And, my mind starts to wander. I don't think about myself. I think about the guys that couldn't sit up here. Because, they're a big part of this. Zeke Upshaw, he deserved to sit up here. Deion Nesmith, Wanye Green, Amin Tanksley, Rokas Gustis, Justin Wright Foreman, and we said this, we play for the guys before us, and I'm just happy to be up here with these guys, and I feel bad those guys couldn't be up here, but they're a big reason why we are now.
I've been a Hofstronian for 50 years. I'm very competitive. We hadn't won a CAA championship during my entire presidency. Everybody knows that I'm retiring at the end of July this year, and I told the team and the coaches I need to see a championship before I retire. And when I told them I only had 2 seasons left, so when it happened, I was thrilled, just thrilled for them and for the school, and for me.
To me, Hofstra winning the 2020 CAA title was the culmination of years of work.
It was the culmination of a lot of things, a lot of time, a lot of effort, being here for 7 years, the close calls that we had before it,
Yeah, it was so special. I mean, this was 7 years in the making when we first got here. The goal was to win a CAA championship.
Then we had the heartache in 2016, we had the heartache in 2019.
We just haven't been able to get to the top of the mountain. And then this year, we kind of broke through, and it was an unbelievable feeling.
So it was just a tremendous feeling, man. And to experience it with that group was everything.
You dream of cutting down those nets, climbing up ladders and celebrating.
And then being on the ladder, cutting down the net, it just brought back memories when I did it as a player.
To get to that night was really special, and it made you reflect on all those prior players.
Coach Mihalik and company's first year on staff was my senior year. So although the results weren't there, you saw guys like Zeke Upshaw and Deion Nesmith and the coaching staff rebuild the foundation of the program, and you saw something was building.
My favorite memories of that night, definitely it was the de jour buoy behind the back pass to Tariq Coburn. I think it was this picture right here. I mean, we were all just out of our seats, started to get the feeling this is going to actually happen.
My best memory came post-game, was when Joe Mihalik came up, gave me the big hug, and you could feel the excitement, the energy, and just the accomplishment for all his hard work, efforts, and just caring about the university, the student athletes, and the program in general.
You know, the thing that sticks out to me is the de jour buoy experience in the last couple minutes. After the under 4 timeout, hits a layup, gets a steal. Jalen Ray hits 2 free throws, put Hofstra up 6, and then de jour hits a old-fashioned 3-point play.
De jour buoy back-to-back possessions had that wild 3-point play, and then he hit that 3-pointer to go up 10, and that was kind of the moment where you realized, oh my goodness, they can't blow this lead. Northeastern can't come back from this lead. They're gonna win.
I remember after the handshake line, no, even before that, de jour coming off the court and embracing him, and he was saying just thank you for everything I did for him. And it was like, yo, nah, thank you for everything you did for the school.
You know, I think Elijah or de jour were coming off the court still after hugging Coach, and then AC and Speedy. So I think I was getting a hug in, and then, you know, it just went to just pure joy, you know, and Colin's behind me, and, you know, just everything you've worked for, and the tears start flowing. I look up at my wife in the stands, and, you know, the way that she's supported me in this journey, just amazing.
It was really great to see the team come together, to play the game they needed for the victory, and to have the great support from the university and the fans and the administration and faculty as well. It was just a great atmosphere altogether.
Hofstra is a school which is committed to excellence in athletics, and that we've been around, you know, being one of the best teams for a number of years now. And that's what it means to build a solid program. And just to win the whole championship finally just puts a cherry on top.
So many people go into making that championship a reality. And, you know, we like to use the words like family at Hofstra. And we know that when raising children or building a family, it takes a village. And when you look at how Hofstra has been for decades and how Hofstra is now, it's about family, and it's about everybody rowing in the same direction, and everybody buying into the overall success of our student athletes.
Personally, for myself, you know, being here for 7 years, I've been so happy for the Hofstra fans and the alumni that they could share in that moment. And personally for me, my family being there, it was awesome. It was just such a great weekend for everyone involved.
Speaking on behalf of my family, my wife Michelle and our daughter Molly, Michelle and I have been season ticket holders since 2001, and Molly has been coming to games since just after she was born in 2012. So to go through last season, you know, the ride to the championship and then the tournament in DC was really, really special.
That was part of the staff that was here the last time the championship was won 19 years ago. So the memories down in Washington, D.C. will stay with me for a while, and I'm sure the team as well.
When we look at our staff, and we look at the cabinet members, and we look at, you know, so many people that dedicate their life to Hofstra and Hofstra student athletes, it's important to recognize that without them, where would we be? So that was a special moment, and I think it was a special moment in a lot of people when they got the chance to walk up that ladder and cut a piece of that net.
To get the opportunity for Rick to ask if I was interested in getting a piece of the net, it made me feel a part of the team and let me know that the victory wasn't just for the for the team, but it was for the entire university.
Oh, I do remember. I remember walking up to the top of that ladder, and I paused and I grabbed the rim for a sec, and I just looked around, and you think about all the work that it takes to get there, how long I've wanted to be in that position, and as a coach, all the hard work, all the late nights watching film, everything you've done, all the recruiting trips, the failed recruiting trips, the successful recruiting trips, everything that goes into that moment.
I looked at Coach Farrelly, and he sits next to me on the bench. I said, wow, we really did it. It's one of those moments that I don't think we'll ever forget. And it was finally like that. We were able to breathe a sigh of relief as the buzzer hit, and the whole team runs out on the floor, and the ball's in the air, and everyone's cheering. It was just one of those moments, for the rest of my life I'll never forget.
When the NCAA tournament concludes each season, the broadcast ends with one shining moment. As we conclude this celebration of the 2020 Colonial Athletic Association champion Hofstra Pride men's basketball team, we invite you to enjoy our own one shining moment as we look back at an incredible season.
The ball is tipped, and there you are. You're running for your life. You're a shooting star, and all the years just how hard you worked. But now it shows in one shining moment. It's all on the line. In one shining moment, they're frozen. In time.
He's got it. 32 for the George Bowie.
With half a second to go.
Not even look at the basket when he put that layup.
And when it's done, you always need your best.
At least the start of the
Cause
game.
inside you,
Oh, what a pass by Bowie.
that in one shining moment, you reach deep inside. One shining moment, you knew.
Rebound, and put back Pemberton again. It's the Eli Pemberton show for Hofstra. In our second half, Ray and company in control. Jalen Ray firing. Conte, up he goes. Down it goes. Jalen Ray goes by Donnelly. There's that left hand, but no finish. Rebound, stick back, and one. Tariq Coburn.
We ain't even win it yet, but it means everything for me. It means everything for me to have my brothers just get that ring. We deserve it. We're going to earn it.
Underway in D.C. in the Colonial Championship game. Corsico lost the handle. Coburn takes it back. Behind the back play. Tariq Coburn up and away for the hammer dunk. Look out below.
In one shining moment,
Bowie, the pump fake, the contact, set one. Oh, you can flex all you like, DeJour Bowie. But that is that. For the first time since 2001, Hofstra is going to the NCAA tournament.
one shining moment.
It's the first time the Pride has ever won the Colonial Championship. And it's time to celebrate in Hempstead, New York.